As trite as this might sound, Happy New Year. It's not a very happy New Year so far. We've just started a war. We just had a dramatic escalation in the Middle East, and Trump is now assisting ISIS where he was once fighting it. In Syria, where he pulled out and allowed Russia to take out ISIS, now by taking out Soleimani, the one who was actually fighting ISIS, he's assisting ISIS because the deep state neocons that surrounded him in his administration, because he was too weak to put people in that were any good. I'm getting ahead of myself a bit though. It's the new year. It's a fresh start to the new year. I had my neck cyst removed. I did not have my brain removed. But a lot of people seem to have. A lot of people have just abandoned their principles because it seems, I don't know, more preferable to virtue signal along with Trump and say, oh, he's got a plan, oh, trust Sessions, oh, yeah, he's got a plan. He doesn't know about geopolitics. He's being misled and derailed by neocons in his establishment, which we said was going to happen anyway, because there was John Bolton, because there's Mike Pompeo, because there's all these neocon scumbags. It's become George Bush, W. Bush, term 3. Iran is a Shia regime, and the Saudis are Sunni, and they're at war with each other. Now, the Saudis created ISIS, and they are Sunnis, and that means the Shia were fighting ISIS. And now, by Trump taking out Shia regime people like Soleimani, he is assisting ISIS. That's why I've called this video, Trump is helping ISIS. You know, he used to actually fight them, but now he's gone along with exactly what Nancy Pelosi wants, exactly what the neocons want, exactly what the deep state wants. Iran was trying to provoke America into attacking because it's being run by globalists. Everyone seems to forget that now. It's just, oh, country, threatening country, threatening country. No, they're using countries to provoke other countries. That's how geopolitics works. And it only works like that because people can't get their head around it and comprehend it. That's why false flags work all the time. Set someone up with a lie. And look at this new attack on the American embassy. Oh, some Americans were killed, but they've not been named. It could be a false flag, but we're not going to check that. We're just going to blow up Iran. We're just going to blow up probably the top guy in the Iranian military. And I don't like Iran. I don't like the regime. I don't like Islam, etc. But that's changing the goalposts somewhat, isn't it? We don't have a right to go and blow up a foreign country, do we? We're not at war with. But we're still at war in Iraq. We're still at war in Afghanistan. And did those countries cause 9/11? No, they didn't. But we went to war with those countries directly after 9/11. And then in a 2006 FBI report, it confirmed that Al-Qaeda wasn't even connected to 9/11. It was Israel and Saudi Arabia, the ones we're working for, the ones we're working with. Israel and Saudi Arabia, the ones that Trump is doing the bidding of as he blows up Iran. And he might have not blown up Iran. That might sound dramatic and exaggerated, but it's a dramatic escalation. See what's happening in the Middle East now. And we're going to get false flags from the likes of Al-Quds over here that's going to blow up us or bring Ebola from Africa or whatever. There are no limits on what can happen now. There could be a terrible false flag on par with 9/11, and it will be blamed automatically, immediately by the mainstream mafia media on Iran. And this escalation will just keep going. And of course everyone's gung-ho for war now, so they'll be like, yeah, kill Iranians, just like they were with kill Iraq, and just like it was after 9/11. It is a repeat of 2003. Syrian girl is right. She kept her principles. Alex Jones lost his. Steve Pieczenik lost his. I wonder if he works for Israel. But if you go on Alex Jones' show and talk about Israel at all, you'll get shouted down. It's almost like they're funded by Netanyahu. What Trump was doing in Syria is the opposite of what he's doing in Iran. Because in Syria, he pulled out, he allowed Russia to take out ISIS. The deep state and the Democrats were trying to take out Assad, who was fighting ISIS. And now the deep state Democrats and neocons have taken out Soleimani, who was fighting ISIS. So Trump is assisting ISIS now. It's a very simple equation, and one that most people's denial won't accept, won't allow them to work out. And of course, we all know that you make peace through provocations like this. We all know that war begets peace. Yeah, it doesn't escalate and keep going, and then, you know, people can stage false flags, and then it can be automatically blamed, and there'll be a snap reaction without thinking, just like there was in 2003. It's just a repeat, and we're falling for it again. And it makes me sick that we fall for it again and again. Do you remember the Syrian chemical weapons attack in Douma, which the OPCW leaks has proven were false? Proven it wasn't anything to do with Assad's regime. It was to do with, if anything, the American government, the deep state, and the people, the neocons that are in charge of putting in the false flags to try and provoke war for geopolitical reasons, for globalism and for New World Order and for conquest and for imperialism and everything else. That is what is going on. That's what's always been going on. It's about geopolitics, and most people don't understand the geopolitical map. Trump certainly doesn't. People went on the media and said that they would give Trump false intelligence. There was actually intelligence agencies going on there saying they would give him false intelligence, and that's what he's got. He doesn't know about geopolitics, he doesn't know about the history, he doesn't fucking know anything. He says America first and then strikes a foreign country, that we're invading all the countries around it. How dare they put their country near our military bases? The audacity. Why, it's just like Russia plonking themselves in the path of all our missiles that we've got on Poland and Ukraine and everything. How dare Russia put itself there in the world? But I wonder what's going to happen to the narrative now that Russia helped Trump, because Trump is now working directly against Putin by helping ISIS. Putin was taking out ISIS in Syria, and now the neocons have derailed Trump's agenda, and it's helping Saudi Arabia and Israel. It's very, very straightforward. And if you can't see that, you're either in denial or too stupid to see that, and shouldn't be involved in this world. Go with your gut. Go with what feels right. Look at what the media's saying. The media that was criticising Trump for being racist and a rapist and a paedophile and this, that and the other is now saying America just took out the #1 enemy and it was great. Even the so-called liberal media is championing it, championing war, because it's how the money keeps flowing. It's the military-industrial complex, and Trump has already announced the Space Force, which is the space-industrial complex. Is that why you were elected, Trump? What about drain the swamp, lock her up, build the wall? You know, what are you going to do about Roger Stone? Just let him rot? What about big tech censorship? What about the treasonous attempt on the coup? What about Spygate? What about all this stuff that you said is disgraceful? Oh, I exposed the swamp, so we'll see what happens. You're not going to drain it anymore. You're not going to lock her up. You're not going to build a wall. You're not going to do anything. We need to get rid of you. You've gone sideways, Trump. You're helping ISIS. You traitor.